All right, as far as gaming is concerned, there's absolutely no doubt whatsoever that 2018 was a really good year, arguably one of the best years of the teens decade, depending on who you ask. We got to see so many cool titles come out this past year, such as God of War, Dragon Ball Fighters, Red Dead Redemption 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and many others. But as far as Game of the Year is concerned, there are many people who have their respective opinion on which game is deserving of that title. As far as Famitsu is concerned, they believe that the best games of 2018 were Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Monster Hunter World, which is actually pretty fair because when Monster Hunter World first came out back in early 2018, it gained so much mainstream attention, and people have been waiting for that game to be released since E3 2017. So basically, Monster Hunter World is something that is not surprising as far as a game of the year is concerned. Some people might find Super Smash Bros. Ultimate surprising, not because it's not a good game. In fact, it's an awesome game. But the thing is, it came out towards the end of 2018. It came out in December, I believe, and basically, it seemed like something, you would name to be Game of the Year for 2019 because, people didn't get a chance to enjoy Super Smash Bros. Ultimate all throughout 2018. But still, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was probably one of the best fighting games of 2018 next to Dragon Ball Fighters and Soul Calibur 6. So basically, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, being Game of the Year is not really surprising, especially considering the fact that there were so many things to do in that game. There were so many different game modes, including Classic, Tourney, and Time Battle. You had Squad Strike. You had several modes in that game, and it seemed like there was just too much to do in that game to a point where you didn't know what to do. And as far as the main attraction is concerned in relation to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, basically the World of Light story mode is one that definitely gives players a lot to do, and it's very interesting. It's a huge step up from what we got and the Super Smash Bros. Wii U game, which came out back in 2014, if I'm not mistaken. And, it has such a high replay value. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, being named Game of the Year by Famitsu is something that isn't too surprising because it's that great of a game. In fact, it's probably the best entry in the Smash Brothers series since it, first started like almost 20 years ago. So that's not, that's something that doesn't really surprise me. They would probably, and in fact, as far as, they also had another category, I believe, for best video game character, and I believe Kirby won that. And I believe, in the Story of Light mode, in the story mode, the World of Light mode and the story mode, basically you start off as Kirby and pretty much, and then I guess throughout the game you unlock new characters and, you get to engage in new missions, and it's pretty cool. So I guess, that's something that, that some people would agree with, some people may not agree with. As far as Monster Hunter World is concerned, a lot of people are amazed by the fact that Capcom was able to pull off such a a high, or produce such a high quality game in terms of, as far as the, action adventure, type RPG genre is concerned. So it's something that, a lot of people were really impressed by when it first came out. And as far as the visuals is concerned, it should be noted that basically the game engine used for this game is called the MT Framework game engine. It was basically used in Devil May Cry 4 along with Resident Evil 5. And those two games were also critically acclaimed. A lot of people were actually turned on by the realism of Monster Hunter World, especially considering the fact that the game had co-op multiplayer gameplay. It had a solid combat system, realism in relation to battling monsters, where stamina was such a huge factor in these battles, and basically people had to watch how they did things and how they fought in battle, because it would determine the overall outcome of what would happen to them. whether or not they live or they die. And basically, there's just so much about Monster Hunter World that a lot of people liked. It sold millions within a very short period of time, and as an RPG, it was probably one of the best, if not the best, of 2018, depending on who you ask. So I guess it'd be safe to say that Capcom and Nintendo had a great 2018 as far as gaming is concerned. Famitsu definitely agrees that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate and Monster Hunter World were indeed the best games of the year. There might be some people who feel like there were other titles more deserving of of that award, but Famitsu definitely thinks differently. And as far as those two games being chosen as game of the year, maybe it was just hard to choose one over the other. Both are really good depending on what type of genre you're into. But if you had to ask me what the best RPG of 2018 was, I would probably say something like Monster Hunter World, like, because it's been out from the very beginning. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, definitely one of the best games of 2018. As far as best fighting game is concerned, it's debatable, but it's definitely one of the best fighting games that I've played in a very long time.